All right. Welcome back to Trolls Toys. Figure reviews, toy hunts, unboxing and rankings, etc. All right, you two. Welcome back to Trolls Toys with another unboxing and display and ranking video, right? And today we're going to be doing NECA Dungeons and Dragons, right? And as you may recall, on a prior hunt during Circle Week, we found Elkhorn, who I had in tiny form way back when I was small. So we picked him up. I love the way that he looks on the card. I don't know if I'm going to open him or if he's just going to be like my background for my Dungeons and Dragons display. I've yet to decide. But we will open these three that you may have seen we found on a prior hunt at a FYE in my town that's going out of business. Actually, today was their last day. Sad times. But that was good for us because we were able to get Warduke for $3, $2.98. We got Grimsword for $2.98, and I bought 3 of him, traded the other 2 to That's Entertainment in Worcester, and then we paid $4 for Strongheart. So we're gonna get these guys out of the boxes, right? Because we have a shelf set up for Dungeons and Dragons. Currently, it's mostly the movie Dungeons and Dragons, Honor Among Thieves, and then a couple of the classic characters. But I think we're going to set up a separate shelf for the NECA Dungeons and Dragons in one of our fancy glass cases. So we're going to get these guys out of the box. I'm going to start with Warduke here, and then we'll go to Strongheart, and then we'll finish with Grimsword. And I'll decide on whether or not Elkhorn's coming out of his package or not. What I'd like to do is find Elkhorn in this box and keep mine on card and then open it up. Oh, and we also have Zarak, who I'd taken out of the box prior by NECA, so we'll at least review him at the end as well. So we'll start with Warduke. All right, so I gotta say right out the gate, Warduke may win the award for most twist ties or plastic tie downs I've ever encountered on an action figure. But I gotta say, I think I had this small one too. I don't really remember. I remember Elkhorn, and I had a couple of the wizards. I know I had Strongheart in the small form, but I gotta say Warduke is looking pretty badass, right? So he comes with, he's got holsters everywhere for the swords that he comes with, which is great. He's got the one on the back for this big sword, which we're probably going to display him with, but I think it's supposed to go in. Is it just for show? Well, for the life of me, I can't get that big sword in that holster. I don't know. I'm going to use that big sword anyway. He comes with this sort of curved knife, which I'm assuming goes in here, or is this also just for show? Or does it go in here? Obviously, I have not pre-planned any of this. All right, well, I don't know. I can't get this into here either. But this one obviously fits in here. And I did double check that so that we don't have to keep looking. So that one fits there. He does come with an alternate open hand for this side. He comes with an alternate pointing finger that we could put here if we were so inclined. And an alternate, very similar alternate gripping hand. Looks like the same hand, actually. That's interesting. But he, once again, has this sword. He also has a flame effect for this sword. Once again, I have not tested this, but it looks like it should work. All right, we applied a little bit of heat to this flame effect, and we were able to get it on the sword, which looks pretty cool. And then his shield is just badass. So we're going to get him equipped with all of his accoutrements. All right, so here's Warduke. So I will say one thing. We will never have to worry about him dropping that fucking sword or shield, because those hands were unbelievably hard to get open. And I gave up on putting this in the one on his side. I just dropped it into the one on the back. I know it's not supposed to go there, but hell, I can't get the big sword in that anyway. But, you know, $4 is what we paid for him. So for $4, he's a damn badass figure, right? and I'm happy to have him. So Warduke, I love that shield. He's got some weight to him as a figure, and he's looking pretty badass, and he's supposed to be because he's one of the evil characters. So now we'll move on to Strongheart. So we've got Strongheart out of his plastic prison, and he had quite a few plastic tie downs as well. Not as many as Warduke, but I gotta say, once again, here's our knight in shining armor, you know, pun intended. He's got a wired cloth goods cape, which is quite nice. He's looking quite stellar. They had a twist tie right through this piece, which I did not see at first. I hope I did not break it. I did not, but we're just going to display it with it up anyway so we can see his face. He comes with his shield. He has a scabbard for his sword. He also has this hammer or mallet, and he has a dagger. And he comes with Fist of Fury out of the package, but he also has gripping hands that are quite similar to each other. I think this one's slightly more open, so we're probably going to try to use it to grip his sword. And then he comes with splayed out hands as well. So 3 sets of alternate hands. These two, which are quite similar. I think this one, maybe this is why I had such trouble with Warduke. Maybe I was using this hand. So we're going to put these hands on him. We'll be back. All right, after many trials and tribulations, we got Strongheart posed up, right? If I were a poser of figures, these would probably not be my favorite, but I'd usually just get them into a pose and put them on the shelf. Quite difficult to get this shield on. I know he probably wouldn't have the shield and the hammer, but I just don't want to have to try to store the mallet. So we put it in his hand anyway. He's just going to stand on a shelf and look pretty. We were able to get the dagger in to the sheath here. Don't know if I'll ever get it out again, but hey, it's in there now. So Strongheart, looking like the good guy that he is, the knight in shining armor, ready to do battle with the likes of Warduke and Grimsword. So we're going to move on to Grimsword. All right, I gotta say, of the 3, Grimsword might be my favorite so far. I don't know if his helmet ever came off in the show, but it does not here. But he's wrapped in a snake, and they had him double tied down at the waist, so that made it extra fun, right? He comes with gripping hands, as well as fisted hands, because he's got splayed out hands on the figure, as well as pointing hands, like you're next. A pretty gnarly looking sword here, but this is what I like. I don't know the technical name for this. If anybody does, you can put it in the chat. I'll have to look it up because I don't know it off the top of my head. It's just badass. And then this shield has got some girth and is quite menacing looking, right? So we're going to get him equipped with his accoutrements. All right, so here's Grimsword, and this is called a flail. I had to look it up. It's a little bit heavy, so it makes his hand go down. His shield goes on sort of sideways, but I think he's looking pretty badass as well. Certainly represents evil quite well. He's quite gnarly, quite menacing. So I'm a big fan of Grimsword. And here's Zarak. He's the other D&D figure that I already had. We got him a couple of months back at an FYE in Waterford, Connecticut that was going out of business for 12 bucks. So he's looking pretty gnarly as well. I had him with my regular D&D like movie figures because he was the only NECA one that I had. But I guess now we'll rank them. And I just for everybody's benefit, I can't bring myself to open Elkhorn yet, just because I think the card looks so awesome. I think he's going to be the background for the NECA D&D figures, and I'll try to see if I can either get another Elkhorn, maybe, I know that sounds dumb, or find the box version, because this one only comes with a sword and a dagger, and I feel like he would be shortchanged on weapons. So maybe we'll look for the box version of Elkhorn. But this retro card one, we're just going to keep. So we're not going to put him in the rankings. I think I would skew it if I did. So, all right. We'll be right back. All right. I got to say, this ranking was a bit tough. I think all these figures are badass. That's why I have them. I was happy to get them. All 4 of these at discounted prices. Elkhorn we did get sort of on sale, but he's like 25 bucks. But all 4 of these total were 12, 15, 18, $22 for these 4 figures, which are normally like 35 bucks a piece. So great deal. I think I have them in an order that I like them. I like them all, but I would probably put Zarak in 4th place just because he's the least, I feel like he'd be the least formidable opponent, although he does have potions and things. Strongheart, I always lean toward the bad guys, so Strongheart's going to be 3rd place. Great figure. These 2, very tough, but they both look badass, look super imposing. But I'm going to give the edge to Grimsword just because I love the flail. I love the shield. I love the fact he's wrapped in fucking snakes. Warduke's flaming sword is pretty badass as well. Strongheart's your typical knight in shining armor, and Zarak's your dwarf magician. I don't know what the hell he is. I'm not up on the lore. Because if I included my boy Elkhorn, he would win for sentimental reasons. Right? But as always, this has been Trolls Toys. I truly appreciate you watching my videos, and we'll see you soon.